we go. All right. Go to amateur hour 6.
Okay.
And the question here is very simple. Is white winning or is this a draw in this position? The time is ticking. And this one, you don't have to make a move. You just tell me when you have the assessment.
It's a draw. Doesn't matter.
Okay, wow,
that move. I'm sure.
That was fast.
Yeah, well, I study endgames. This is a draw. I mean,
okay, and so why is it a draw?
Well, the bishop covers this e6 square, and if the king tries to go over to the other side, the bishop can cover this g6 square as well.
Okay, so let's say I play king to c4. What would you, or sorry, king to f5. What would you play here as black?
King to f5. Here, I think I can play. Let's see. Bishop c4, simply.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And if I play king g6?
Well, the point of bishop c4 is bishop d3.
And if I go here?
I don't see where you're going. Hold on.
King g5.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were on amateur hour 6. King g5?
Oh, no worries. Let's see. Here, I believe I can just make a waiting move. So, let's see. I think is bishop e4 okay here?
Bishop e4, possibly, even bishop c2. Okay,
yeah,
you seem to have the right idea.
Okay, bishop c2 seems okay. Like, as long as the key is black's king is in front of the pawn, and the bishop is covering these light squares. And,
very good.
Check, I just move my king up to f7. If the rook checks me again back on the 7th, I move back. And it's a waiting game. And the good news is the bishop is on long diagonals, so there's no way of really, putting black in zugzwang. So, draw.
Very good and very well explained, actually. This is probably really instructive for a lot of our members who didn't know the answer to that. You study endgame, so you basically cheated by being an endgame.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding. Okay, so that puts you in good position, all right? That's part of the randomness of the 15-minute drill. We won't hold that against you. Now you have basically 14, you have almost the full 15 minutes to solve the remaining 4 problems. Now, to provide a little bit of instruction for the members, so again, everything John said is true, and one of the key things to recognize is that the king is in the right color corner. And so if this pawn is sacrificed with a move like f7, actually, I will give you one quiz. If f7 is played, what does black have to play here?
Okay, if f7 is played, let me see. Bishop takes, king takes.
It's fair to say, I think, that you don't get it right unless you find the right move here.
All right, that's fair.
That's how evil I'm going to be.
Okay, that's fair. I want to make sure that after bishop takes f7, king f6, I simply go bishop h5. Is there any nonsense here? Rook b8, bishop e8. Oh, that's no good. Yeah. So.
Aha! You see the trick.
Yeah, I see
this is the thing. This is the one thing about this endgame where you could lose. Well, this is the one thing about this endgame. Even someone like you who knows it on a technical level, like you've seen it, how you could lose it in a practical game. Because remember, in a practical game, you don't have a lot of time, and someone is not just going to give you a draw because they say, "Congratulations, John Urschel, you knew the theoretical book draw." Right? I mean, they're going to try to beat you. So you have to know one of the. So the key point
would actually. What's up? Tell me.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
The key point is to remember you're in the right color corner. If you're in the opposite color corner of the bishop, that's where you want to be, right? So you're not forced to capture that pawn.
Yeah.
Which means the move is.
So I'm thinking between. I think I can just play. Let's see. King g7.
Okay, yeah, you have to play king g7.
Yeah,
king g7 is the only move because
I shouldn't say can. I should say have to. Like all the bishop moves don't work.
They allow king f6, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the key here is the move king to g7. Now, next move, no matter what, you take the pawn.
Yeah.
And then you're in the right color corner. There's no way for their king. There's no way that their king gets here and affects you. You get into the corner, and there's just no opportunity for white to trick you. So this idea here of making sure you have the ultimate goal in mind, which is that your king needs to be in the opposite color corner of your bishop in order to draw these endgames. And again, everybody, the reason is, let's say something like this just happens, just to show you, and the king goes into the corner and they come in. The thing in these positions, eventually you get some sort of position where black would be in a mating net, but black can just play moves like this.
Right.
Because as long as you're in the opposite color corner, there's no zugzwang.
Yeah.
Rook to b8 is stalemate.
Yeah. Whereas if this was shifted over like one each way, this would be losing.
Yep. Because white would have that, or black would have that move that he has to make, whether he likes it or not. So quick tips for everybody to take away from this position. Opposite color corner of the bishop is how you draw these endgames. Number two, don't forget that that's really your goal, not the elimination of the pawn itself. As you already highlighted, the bishop is in an ideal position to keep the king at bay, whether that pawn is on the board or not. But with this reckless sacrifice, you have to remember this idea. Don't let yourself get tricked into entering a mating net before your king has reached his goal. Because now your king is in a mating net, and you actually are able to be put in zugzwang after rook to b8, and then any waiting move, and black loses. All right, mind-blowing stuff. I'm glad you knew it. We're going to set the clock now to 14 minutes. I'm just going to take away a minute to punish you for knowing that position.